fly-by-wire controls, the pilot can maneuver the plane to its full potential, a potential sometimes beyond the capacity of the pilot himself. The computerized flight control system monitors every movement of the aircraft and every control activated by the pilot. It also permits aircraft to depart from conventional design requirements. With traditional flight control systems, an aircraft had to be designed with inherent stability, often at the expense of optimal maneuverability. Fly-by-wire eliminates these design limitations. Instead of building inherently stable aircraft, designers using fly-by-wire technology can produce planes that are substantially less stable and thus much more maneuverable. Fly-by-wire allowed Dassault to return to its classic Delta design in the Mirage 2000 fighter. The computer-assisted flight controls compensated for any shortcomings in the Delta wing configuration.
Les commandes de vol gomment un petit peu les défauts qu'il y avait sur les Delta classiques. Dès qu'on prenait beaucoup d'incidences sur un avion Delta classique, l'avion s'enfonçait et pouvait devenir très difficile à piloter. Sur un Mirage 2000, les commandes de vol empêchent d'atteindre ces incidences et donc l'avion reste toujours pilotable. Il y a des becs sur les Delta à commande de vol électrique qui améliorent quand même considérablement les qualités de l'avion à basse vitesse. Et on ne pouvait pas le mettre sur un avion Delta normal parce que l'avion aurait été réellement impilotable. Il n'y a que les commandes de vol électriques qui permettent de piloter cet avion.
The Mirage 2000 pilot could fly the aircraft to the very limits of its maneuvering envelope without fear of entering into an unrecoverable position. Although the Mirage 2000 most closely resembles its 1960s ancestor, the Mirage 3, its role is more akin to that of its predecessor, the F-1. Designed as a multi-purpose fighter, the Mirage 2000 is capable of both air-to-air combat and ground attack strikes. There are two distinct variants of Mirage 2000s. The Mirage 2000C is mainly intended for dogfighting. The 2000D, a two-seat version, was designed for long-range, deep-strike missions with modern guided munitions. In this variant, a weapons officer who manages the attack radar and weapons systems occupies the second seat. Guided munitions are crucial to the success of modern strike fighters. The Mirage 2000 strike fighters are equipped with a variety of strike weapons. During the 1991 Gulf War, French aircraft used the laser-guided AS-30L missile to devastate hardened Iraqi aircraft shelters, sometimes guiding the bomb right through open doors. The Mirage 2000 is armed with the Apache cruise missile. The stealthy Apache is a standoff weapon, launched more than 80 miles from its target to avoid exposing the Mirage to enemy air defenses. The Apache flies into enemy territory and delivers its submunitions against the target. These can include specialized munitions for attacking massed tank formations or disabling airfields and runways. Unlike its striker cousin, the Mirage 2000C is mainly intended for the classic interceptor mission of engaging enemy aircraft. In modern air-to-air combat, the fighter who engages first and at the greatest range usually wins. Vital to spotting and engaging the enemy first is the aircraft's radar.
La capacité est de pouvoir engager loin, parce que ça reste un missile à longue portée, loin, plusieurs avions simultanément, sans rentrer dans la phase d'engagement de combat rapproché.
In older generations of fighters, radar could track only enemy aircraft at the same altitude or higher. Enemy aircraft flying near the ground got lost in the clutter of the landscape. But advances in radar now permit fighters like the Mirage 2000C to locate and attack enemy aircraft flying below them. It's called look-down, shoot-down capability.
Très important parce que d'abord une grande partie de la menace reste sur les avions qui volent près du sol, soit des cruise missiles, soit des avions pilotés. Aussi de la basse altitude. Donc il est très important que les avions soient capables non seulement de voir vers le sol, mais aussi de tirer vers le sol.
The Mirage jet's superior combat abilities were demonstrated during 1991's Operation Desert Storm, codenamed Operation Daguet by French forces. Ground attack missions were performed by a squadron of Jaguars and a squadron of Mirage F-1s. Mirage 2000s of the 5th Fighter Squadron operated out of Al-Asa Air Base on combat air patrol missions to prevent Iraqi air attacks to Saudi Arabia. Widely exported, Mirage jets have seen combat around the globe. The Mirage 3 was made famous by the Israeli Air Force in the 1967 Mideast War. The Mirage was later improved in Israel and evolved into the Kafir fighter. The South African Air Force also used Mirages extensively in combat, flying the Mirage 3 and F-1.
The Mirage F-1 fitted our role that we saw for the future of the Air Force, in that it has both roles, air-to-air as well as air-to-ground strike. Mirage F-1 has seen combat in southern Angola as well as other areas in Africa. We have flown over 1,800 combat missions in both the air-to-ground as well as the air-to-air role. The missions were mainly in the air-to-air role interception as well as combat air patrols, and in the air-to-ground role mainly strike and interdiction roles.
During the fighting over Angola, Mirage F-1s were confronted with a wide array of advanced Soviet-made radar-guided missiles. But these formidable defenses were evaded by flying in under the radar.
For us, in order to survive, we had to fly at very low level, and that was anything from 20 to 50 feet, depending on the nature of the terrain. And this was done to dodge the radar systems and also to get the surprise on our side. The enemy aircraft that we encountered were basically MiG-21s, MiG-23s and Su-22s is the other type that we encountered. We didn't lose any aircraft in combat, whereas the enemy lost 2 MiG-21s, and there was unconfirmed reports of other aircraft lost by them as well.
To bolster their forces, South Africa's Air Force decided to improve their older Mirage 3s. The result, a modernized variant called the Cheetah.
We decided to update the whole Mirage 3 fleet with new avionics, a new sighting system and a nav weapon system. As far as combat is concerned, the changes in the Cheetah compared to the Mirage 3, it made the aircraft a little bit more maneuverable.
Back in France, the Mirage was about to undergo its greatest evolution, a supersonic leap into the future.